Well,
Hello.
hey, what should a man
Hold
be
on,
at?
hold on, hold on. How old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay. Are you single or are you married?
I'm married.
All right. Any children?
Or,
Go ahead.
um, it depends. Everyone has the right to ask, male or female, has the right to ask, for certain things, whether it's a short, tall, fit, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I think that if a man does like a woman and she happens to have children, he has to realize that it's a package deal. I guess she might have everything. The woman might have everything the man is looking for, but she just has a kid. And if he's not willing to accept that,
So, do you pay attention to anything going on in in the news, in the
I,
world?
I do.
Then saying that men should be able to what you basically said, if what you were saying is true, why do men get shamed for simply asking, what do you bring to the table? If everyone has the ability to, hold on, if everyone has the ability to ask for anything, it's no big deal.
That's true. I mean, I think that a lot of the mentality of people nowadays is warped anyway. Social media
Okay.
and everything.
Okay, but then,
I
so
mean, and
is
a
it,
woman shouldn't expect a man
okay,
to
you can't
take care of a
overtalk.
child.
You can't overtalk.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Have you been drinking?
No, I'm
Huh?
nervous. I don't know. I'm nervous.
Well, but one thing you just can't overtalk, man. I think it's kind of rude as a woman when a man is talking, you just start yelling.
I wasn't yelling, but okay.
Anybody can go back and listen to what she just did. If you got to try to get your light ass voice over my voice, you don't do that without yelling.
Okay.
So you're currently married.
And yeah.
If a man, why is it a package deal? Why must a man accept that?
If the man likes a certain woman and that woman has a child, he has to realize that it is a package deal.
He doesn't have to do that.
If he decides that he wants to pursue her
No,
and he
no,
finds that,
no, because I'm going to ask you a question. Why do women feel like because they aren't married that the children belong to them?
what do you mean?
Meaning that, and if the world was in the right method, you wouldn't be a package deal because if you weren't with the father, you'd leave and he'd have his kids. So that's the way it used to be. This is
Well,
the way it used to be.
yeah.
If a woman decided she wanted to divorce or leave or not be around, she could carry her natural butt on him. She went, but the kids stayed with the father. Those were hymns. But see, today you ladies act as though the children you have are yours, and though that you should be able to visit them on another man and make that non-biological, non-DNA tied man to time to another man's children. See, the way it's supposed to work is if you want to leave your family, you show up on another man's life, however it works, empty-handed. Then there are no package deals.
Well, I will say first that if a female decides to leave her boyfriend, husband, whatever, that there's most likely a reason.
No,
And
no, 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 no. Not
well,
over here.
in
No, no,
my
no, no, no. We don't over here. We deal in the men's side. You ladies leave because you're not happy because the wind changes. Sorry, ma'am. Irreconcilable differences is a bullshit ass way for women to just get out of relationships because they're not happy. And whatever reason you leave, you should be able to leave, but you should not leave with the kids. See, prior to the 1940s marriage laws, women could go ahead and leave, but they left with exactly what they came with, and that's the way it should be.
why
Yes. Why? Because one, because men earn more than you do. Men statistically are better parents for the children if you have to choose a male or a female. See, the facts are in. The data's really clear.
no,
Always has been. Okay, if you have a, how many women with multiple children, what's the percentage of a woman that has more than 2 children? What's the percentage chance that the second child is by another man?
A high percent.
Between 0 to 100, what would you give it?
About a 90%.
It's about 70. So that's the point, that women who are not married and have more than 1 child likely go out and get another man. See, you don't make good mating decisions. Whereas 54% of black men are single and childless. We make better decisions. When men are in relationships, men file divorce at a roughly 10 to 20% rate when the divorce happens. Women file a divorce at about a 80 to 90% rate. Like it or not, man, facts are stubborn things. Don't believe me. Go do the research yourself. So when a home is wrecked because of a divorce, it's a woman who's wrecking her home.
I don't agree with that.
I don't care if you agree, the facts are clear. And you always, and the thing is, women like yourself always want to give women the benefit of the doubt that if a woman left, it must be for a good reason. Let's play it your way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play it your way. What's a good reason to leave?
The husband or the boyfriend is not.
No, we're talking marriage.
Okay, and that he's not doing what he should be doing, or
meaning what?
Showing her he is not. It's unequal. Meaning,
what is a good reason to dissolve your covenant with God and your vow?
All right, one case, abuse. That would be a reason to leave.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do we verify this abuse happened?
I mean, there's some females who are quiet; they don't involve the police. So
then if that's the case, we can't verify it happened.
So that means
a good reason. No, ma'am. See, that's over here. Mm-hmm. We don't just let you ladies talk. I'm asking, what are some good reasons to dissolve your marital vow, dissolve your covenant with God? And you need to have better than just something happened. I'm just asking you to substantiate. You can have your opinion, stand on it, prove it. You say abuse, and I'm asking, what proof do we have? And you said, well, some places we don't. Then the places you don't have proof aren't a good reason.
I mean, I can't give a reason why someone would leave. I know that.
Well, but you just said, but then
yes, abuse.
Man, you just kind of man. The reason okay. Due respect, the reason we're even here is you said if a woman leaves, mm-hmm. it's usually for a good reason.
Yeah.
And you just contradicted yourself.
I can speak for
I can't give a good reason why they leave, but they do. So what?
I mean, I did say abuse, but you're saying, what if is it verifiable? Some women do not.
Yeah, if it really happened, listen, ma'am, pay attention. If it really happened to the level or to the seriousness that we're talking about, then mm-hmm. there should be a police report, history. There needs to be some. Or do we just believe what a woman says?
No, nor would you believe what a man says.
Right. You need some what?
Proof. I mean, family.
Thank you. And how do we get that proof?
I mean, family can be a proof.
No, man. Unless the family. Excuse me, man. Unless the family witnessed it.
That's what I'm saying. They could have.
Okay, man. But that's not how life happens. That means somebody has to physically be there when the alleged abuse happens. You're talking about more likely that they came after and some story was told. Because they don't live there.
All right, can we define abuse? Can it be...
You said abuse, man.
Can it be more than physical? It can also be mentally, right? Mental abuse. A person can...
We still need proof.
Mentally abused.
We need proof.
How can you...
Okay, see, and that's the case. And this is why I love these discussions. I believe we should have to have more than just a woman's allegation, a man's allegation, to wreck a family, break up a family, separate a household, and do all this stuff because it has such consequences. There should be a thing called no-fault divorce should go away. I'm not saying you should not be able to get a divorce. You just need to be able to prove what's going on. Because I'm asking you, and you're like, well, damn. He's right. And you don't want to say that I'm right because you know I'm right.
I mean, mental abuse you can't prove, but I mean, you can't prove mental abuse. But I mean,
Just like, you mean the stuff that happens to men at a very high rate, but they can't prove it?
I'm sure they get there's
Right.
mental
So, man, okay, no, you can't prove it. If you can't prove it one way, you can't
in
prove it the other
there,
way.
so
So, thank
and
you.
and
No,
that's
ma'am, you can't
different,
prove it one way, you can't prove it the other way. So,
right?
abuse. All I'm saying is, if you want to say abuse, fine. Where's the police reports? Where's the documentation?
Well, aside from that, there will. I mean, the person doesn't feel like they're being treated the way they want to be treated. I mean, there's many reasons why
So,
somebody will leave.
okay, because somebody's feelings change.
Hmm.
So that's a reason to. Where is that written into the vows that we take?
It's not, and I
But,
personally
excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. Do words mean things?
were exact. Yes,
For better, for worse,
for
richer, for poor, in sickness and health, to death do us part. It doesn't say your feelings change, something happens. See, you can't substantiate why most women are leaving. And here's the thing. Let's just play it this way. How about this? How about I meet you halfway? If a woman in this case cannot prove, she leaves the kids. Why do y'all think y'all get the kids automatically? What makes you? And don't tell me because you carry them. That's a bullshit ass reason.
no. I mean, I've had this discussion before, and I feel that women. I mean, I've heard of some women who don't mind leaving their children, but and I mean, I feel that females would take their children because they feel that they can better
Mm-hmm.
raise their children.
Okay. All
And
right.
they're their
Well,
mother.
okay. Well, let's test that theory then. Let's test that theory. Prior to 1965, we had an 80% marriage rate in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
We had a community, we had families, we had black businesses, we had structure. Now, 8 out of 10 black children are in single parent homes led by women. Is the black community better today than it was? Is the better functional output? So, by the proof of who's raising the children in a single parent environment, it shows that women are not doing a good job.
I
No,
mean, that's
no,
there's
no, 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 and not done. So if we have had over almost 60 years of women leading homes, and we got the proof to show it's not working, don't you think it's time to try something different? If the woman's not going to stay, you've already had your shot, and the black community is what it is. Do fathers have equal rights to their children?
they should, but in reality, some women don't give them the equal rights. I mean, I'm like a unicorn, so a lot of the stuff that
No, no. What do you mean women don't give them the equal rights?
meaning it's a lot of women will use their children as for leverage. Like if
Then
they
what makes them such? Then why are you defending them being single parents?
I mean, I'm not defending them, but they become single parents for what?
No, ma'am, you are. You're saying that if a kid is going to be with one man or the other, it should be with the mother because the mother is the better parent. And there's nothing you're saying that makes her better.
I mean, if the mother is right, you know the mother don't have nothing to provide for.
Ma'am, I don't care about the exceptions. I care about the norm.
What is the norm nowadays? What is
If you
the
call yourself a unicorn, and I guess you consider yourself to be exceptional.
Yes, I do.
Well, back before the 60s, that was the norm.
But nowadays, is it like that in reality? Like,
And why isn't it?
because females are just different. They are.
Exactly. So if they decide to wreck their homes because they are different, they should go on without the kid. See, here's the thing. What you ladies do not want to seem to understand is you do not own a child.
No, you don't.
So, and we have had a system to where we give women preferential treatment because she's female, not for the best outcome of the child. But here's the thing. We have over 50 years of data to determine statistically probabilities. What are the best likely outcomes for the child?
Mm-hmm.
And even through all that, as a woman who calls herself a unicorn, you still deciding for women over men.
Because I'm a mother and I know
You have
I
any sons?
agree
You
that
have any sons?
I do. I have 2 sons and 2
Okay,
daughters.
so if your sons were in the position I'm talking about, you'd want the child to go with their baby mama. Because what?
No, I would not want that.
Oh, okay.
But
So damn, no, but if you've got sons, why don't you ladies advocate for your sons like you advocate for the women?
that's a good question. I mean, I would, depending
No,
on
you're not. No, you're
if
not.
the woman is
Woman,
a good
ma'am, you
woman.
got 4 kids,
I
and
do.
you're talking like you got 4 daughters. The,
No,
the
if
very
my
thing I'm talking about represents 2 of your children.
okay, I will say that if God forbid that ever was to be a reality, I would if based
How old are your sons?
they're young. There's 5 and 3.
What is the percentage chance that your sons will marry a woman, a black woman?
Hopefully a high percentage, but
What's the
well,
marital rate in the black community right now?
I don't know.
What do you
I
think it
actually
is? What do you think it is?
I know it's low
What
because
do
a
you
lot
think it is?
30, 40%
Right. And is it going up or is it going
it's
down?
going down. You can
So
see
if it's going down, by the time your boys are marrying age and the baby boomers and Generation X are out of the equation, what are the chances? So it's likely low that they'll get married anyway. And then how long does the typical black marriage last? How many years?
I mean, if I had to guess
Uh-huh.
between maybe I'm giving too many years, maybe 5 to 10 years.
5. And when a divorce is filed in one of these black marriages, what percentage of the time is a man filing the divorce?
30% of the time, 20, 40% of the time.
20.
Wow.
10 to 20. So if you have a marital rate around 30%,
Mm-hmm.
and of those, so that means 7 out of 10 won't get married. You got a 30% marital rate. Your 2 sons are in this group. And if they do get fortunate enough to get married, they got a chance of having a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-year marriage. And if they'll start looking down the barrel of a divorce, not 8 to 9 times out of 10, it's not your son that will be filing. What does that show? What does that show the problem is? On the boy side or the girl side?
The females.
And if that's the case, why should the children go with the females of that situation? No, ma'am. You're making, don't be honest. Your sons, if that's the case, don't give me the accidental, well, it could. In the norm, in the average, should the children be going with the women who are leaving their families, or should they be going with the men who are staying?
If the children are able to choose who they want to
No,
stay
no, no,
with.
no, 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 no.
I
And this
mean,
is why, and this is what I need you guys to understand. Even your black men, even your mothers are against you. This is a woman who has 2 black sons. Yes, ma'am. You're still, the way you're talking, ma'am. I have the comments up, but when I open the comments up, I guarantee you the men are losing their mind because you're talking about, well, if the children are old enough to choose, how about the grown-ups make a decision? How about the society makes a decision based upon what we can verify and see? What would be the better potential outcome? We've already got 50 years of single mother-led households.
right.
The boys aren't leaving. So if a woman wants to leave her marriage, we know what likely happens when a mother leaves the house. Why not let the children go with the boy?
I mean, it's like
They can't do it. And that's what I need you guys to understand. In the black community, the sisterhood code is so strong, it even overrides their biological imperative to their own boys. Man, people see you struggling to not hold women accountable, even when we're talking hypothetically about your own sons.
I mean, because it's so wide, the different
Why do you mean it's so what?
The differences.
What do you
It,
mean the differences?
because a female can actually, nowadays women are doing well for themselves. And they
Ma'am, I judge I judge the product, I judge women by the outcome, and the children of the outcome. Are today's children better off than the children were 50 years ago? Boys, on the average in the black community, are reading at a fourth grade level. Who's raising them?
their mothers.
Then they're failing. What are you saying they're doing good because they have a job?
No, but we also took so we're talking about the
We
black
judge, okay, judge the parenting on the children. Black children are at the bottom. Black boys are reading at a fourth grade level. They're dropping out at record levels. They're detaching. Ma'am, whether you like it or not, these are you don't have to believe me. I challenge you to look it up yourself. Go look up the stats on black boys. And 80% of all black children are coming from single mother-led homes. So whatever success you are attributing to the mothers, it is not, N-O-T, not making it down to the children. So it doesn't matter what their success is if they're raising a generation full of children, boys who can't even read above a fourth grade level.
And what did you say the percentage is?
Of what?
Of the boys you saying that they're reading at a fourth grade level, because that's not
If the majority of the men, if the majority of boys reading at a fourth grade level in the 12th grade, that's a problem.
That is a major problem.
Okay, then but
that percentage, you're saying that all single black women are their children ends up.
I'm trying to be nice, right? I'm trying to be nice right here, man. Are you being serious? Seriously, why do you guys resort to this absolute value? You're saying all women. I'm saying 80%, 8 out of 10 black children are raised in single mother households. The average black boy is reading at a fourth grade level. Why do we need all when the majority is good enough? Is the black community better off today when it's freer than ever, or are we better off under Jim Crow segregation and all this other kind of stuff?
I mean, families were together, but you have to take into consideration everything that's
They can't do it, dude. I want you guys to understand. This is how. No, ma'am. We're not taking into consideration shit. We take into consideration the outcome.
But a lot of black males are being locked up and taken from their homes, just like back in the
day. When?
What do you mean when?
When one of these black males being ma'am, excuse me. 54% of black men are single and childless. That's over half. 54. You can verify this. Black Men Making in America, the American Enterprise Institute. They did a 10-year exhaustive study. 54% of black men, single, childless. 61% in the middle class. The average black woman in this country makes less than, fully employed woman makes $28,000 or less. The average black man, $42,000. Ma'am, go to blackdemographics.com. Black statistics for black people by black people. It's all laid out. Black men, even though black women are the most enrolled in college, the degrees you go to get are less useful. Because at the end of the day, we judge by the outcome. If you are a single woman and you're going to have children, you better be in the top 10% of earners or making at least what a man makes, because if you're making 74% of black women make less than $50,000 a year. That's not enough to take care of barely one person, much less a parent. And in this conversation, we've already said it. When a woman has 2 children, there's a high likelihood that the second child's going to come from another man. When, with a very low marital rate, when a woman in our community does get married, the marriages on average last less than 5 years. And when those marriages fail, the woman is filing for divorce 80+% of the time. the outcome of all parenting, all children in the Black community, which are 8 out of 10 Black kids being raised by single mother-led households, the Black boys are reading at a 4th grade level. That means you're not producing any men who are trained in skilled trades, in any kind of thing where they're going to even be productive citizens. Man, these are just the facts. And you're still holding on to this, well, if women are doing bad, it's because they just had a bad breakup. Something didn't happen the right way, so we can't hold them accountable. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And we have to, because they're not holding themselves accountable. And here's the thing. Who are raising, okay, ma'am, let's say you raise your sons to be solid citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking at the young girls? Where are their wives going to come from? See, I think that you ladies just don't like looking at it because the problem is too big and it makes you feel some kind of way because you don't want to hold women accountable.
No, I mean, right is right, wrong is wrong. I mean, and also you're generalizing everything.
No, ma'am. See, that's bullshit. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to facts, data, statistics aren't generalizations. I come with statistics. You have opinions. 51% is the majority. You would call that a generalization. That's a fact.
Where does these percentages come from? Who's coming up with these percentages?
Again, so when they shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. When they can't win on facts, data, statistics, they start deflecting and start dissecting the numbers. I've cited all my sources.
Coming from who?
I've cited all my sources. The Department of Labor, the Bureau of Statistics, the Department of Health, the Center for Disease Control. You know, all the people in the federal government who know what they're doing and have reams and reams of data, more than just your opinion and your anecdotal experience. They got it all. But see, what state do you live in?
I live in New York.
New York. What borough?
I live upstate.
Okay. Carry your ass down to New York City, walk outside, carry your ass to New York City, go to Harlem, go to any borough, and I want you to look at just look at the observable outcomes.
See what it is. I know what it is. I'm from the Bronx.
Right. And when you see, and how many 2-parent nuclear families do you see in the Bronx in Black people?
Not a lot. And my mother was a single woman and she raised very successful. She had 7. And we're pretty much all successful. None of us been locked up in jail. She had 4 boys and 3 girls. I'm the oldest.
What the fuck is that supposed to, what does that change? No offense, man. No offense, man. No offense. Listen, man, listen. Black women, you need to start looking at probabilities and not possibilities. I need you to understand how hard you're fighting for something you can see is failing.
I mean, yes, the generations coming now, yes, I agree. There's an issue.
An issue?
I mean, yes, it's an issue that, I mean, it can't. What
does the future look like for your sons?
I don't know.
Man, no, we're gonna know. What if you said that you would like them to be married?
I would.
And where the wives coming from?
Whoever they fall in love with. I don't.
Where are they coming from?
Wherever they.
So in other words, you just hope it works, right? Based upon what you see right now in our community, where are the women that look like them that will be wives?
I mean, scattered abroad. It's scattered. I mean, there's many successful Black people where I live. I mean, I'm sure.
I'm going to ask you one dead honest question because everybody can see you're sitting there lying to yourself. Do we have enough solid women to be wives for Black men who want wives?
That I can't.
Look, watch her lie, y'all. Watch her lie. Watch. Look at her. Look at her squirm. Look at her squirm.
I said I can't confidently say yes.
Well, and is that number rising or is it falling?
It's rising.
The number of we have we have suitable wives
Oh,
increasing?
no, it's falling, I guess.
Right. So by the time your
Does it
boys,
went down?
so by the time your boys reach 27 to 30 years old, the numbers are going to be even lower. Where are the wives coming from? If the mothers are supposed to raise, if the mothers can't stay, see, here's the problem. If you are not going to be married, if you're going to have a single parent dynamic, according to the numbers, women are not doing a good job based on the outcome of the children. I don't care who shot John, why they got there. That's what it is. What has to happen before women like you think it's time to do something different? Let's even talk something as simple as automatic custody goes to the father.
Mm-hmm.
What has to happen?
An agreement.
No, automatic custody, not an
Oh, for
agreement.
to automatically get.
Yeah, like it happens today.
I mean, there would have to be an agreement immediately between.
No agreement, ma'am. See, an agreement means you have a choice. Automatic means it already happens without you. What has to happen to the state of the community, the black family, before you would change your mind and say, you know what? We need to try something different, meaning the kids go with the fathers.
How many fathers actually want their children?
You answer my question first. No, you answer my question first. That's not how we do that. And guys, again, when they answer a question with a question, it's disingenuous attempt to deflect.
I'm not trying to deflect.
Answer my question first.
Can you repeat your question again?
No.
I mean, how many?
No question.
I can't.
What would have to happen? What would have to happen?
I mean,
before we proceed with the content from Kevin Samuels and this lady, I just want to put in something there. I think this is so sad and embarrassing, man. It is sad. This woman speaking right in this video got 2 sons, right? I would have assumed the way she's speaking, she don't got no son. She got all girls or something like that. But to understand that this lady is raising her own biological boys, children, and she's defending this shit, says a lot about our women and the manner in which you black men love your moms. Your moms are against you. Our moms are against us, let's be honest. I'm not saying don't love your mom, but put this into perspective. Written cover again. She's having sons, and to hold women accountable is still a problem to her. Talk of this woman is having only girl children. Like I said, when they started arguing, I thought maybe she don't have a kid, or probably if she have a kid, so that kid will be a lady, a girl, right? That I thought it would be a girl. But piping it down, I realized she got boys, and still holding black women accountable in favor of your sons. Not even in favor of your sons, just saying the truth is somehow a problem to you. And you wonder why black men are mostly struggling. Black men are the most struggling people in the United States. We are, because, we are dealing with some type of oppression from other angles. I don't want to be specific here. And you have your own mom that should be your backing. They are also against you. Because like it or not, or like what I'm saying or not, why on earth will this lady be entertaining this bullshit and try to magnify and amplify it? It's wrong. Black kids are just not performing. And this is something that you just cannot say, even when what you are saying is going to end up probably getting an impact on your kids. your boys. You still cannot say it. And between black girls and black boys, if they are to ask who really love their parents, or let me just say their mom, because black boys, anything they have to talk about, my mom, my mom, my mom. And these women don't honestly like you. They will try to act like they love you in front of you, but when it comes to this type of conversation, defending you instead of defending sisterhood, they'll choose sisterhood over you. And it has proven in this video.
I don't, something drastic for that.
Like what?
I mean, where the Child Protective Services has to get
Automatic. There's
I mean,
automatic. We're not talking about down the line. Automatic upon birth. Automatic.
I don't know what would have to be done.
Automatic. What would automatic? See?
I know what would have to be done.
No. Oh, so no. I'm asking you because in your scenario, there needs to be agreements and this and that. But right now, it's the mother is automatically given custody of the child. What would have to happen? What needs to happen? Okay, here's a better question. Can you envision a scenario where it gets so bad to where it would be automatically best that we just give the children to their fathers?
And it would be each female is different.
That's why I need you, black men. I need you to understand. Even your mothers, if they think like this, they're not on your side.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. I don't listen to your feelings, black men. Don't listen to your feelings. Listen with your ears.
That is not true.
Listen to this rebroadcast with your ears. This is a mother with 2 boys. And we've gone over the facts, the data, the statistics, the probabilities, this and that. But at the end, I'm simply asking, what has to happen? What kind of scenario would have to happen before you as a woman would be saying, we need to start giving, if they're not going to be married, and this is what's happening, we need to give the kids to the father. And that's the thing. This is why so many countries resisted giving women power for so long, because once they give it, they don't want to give it up. And it doesn't matter what the outcome is because of the selfishness. I need you to understand. The black community is the black children are at the bottom, man. And it's a free country.
Mm-hmm.
But before no fault divorce, children of the marriage were considered property of the father. And that's and you know what? And like it or not, you know it, I know it, anybody else with a functioning brain can see that what's the worst that could happen? If this is what we're getting, what's the worst that could happen if you gave to the fathers?
I mean, men are not emotionally equipped to raise girls and stuff sometimes. And for boys, yeah, I believe that boys should maybe go to their dads because one thing I don't like, and I is the women.
I want you guys to understand something. I said,
mother, even though
I said that what's the why? Well, men aren't emotionally equipped. So that's a stupid argument because that means just by definition, women can't raise boys. See, what you're basically saying is there's nothing that women can do that are so bad that we shouldn't take their children. What this comes down to, people, is the ownership level that so many women in general, black women feel as though we are their property. They feel as though we're their property. Those aren't our kids. Those are her kids. And this is over the last 60 years, this has become ingrained to where you hear women talking about their children, even married women talking about their children as if they have no father. My kid. Oh, and this is ridiculous. And it's all about your ego and pride, because it would be different if women spoke of the kids in a prideful way, but then we're actually doing what was best for the kids, but they're not. And you can sit here and look at all the facts. You can look at the observable evidence, but this goes so deep for them because they believe that that's mine. This is why I say, gentlemen, be careful of the women you deal with, because You're not going to change a woman's mind. You need to deal with a woman if you want a family who is already family-minded, who is thinking about the best interest of the kids, your best interest. Because if you're dealing with a selfish person, you putting women. I'm looking at you.
I mean,
Because I'm asking you if I'm asking you at what point. I'm asking you at what point. At what point does it get no, ma'am? At what point does it no, ma'am? At what point does it get bad? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. At what point does it get bad enough to where? At what point does it get bad enough to where society needs to step in and say enough of this?
More kids dying or something. I don't know. That's drastic.
More kids dying.
That's drastic to me. I mean, I don't know.
Drastic. What? Giving the custody, automatic custody to fathers. Why is that such a bad thing? Why is that so hard?
Me personally, I am not saying it is a bad thing. I said,
but you haven't answered the question.
Because
it's not situational. Well, no, it's not situational right now.
I can't answer a general. I can't.
Yeah, you can. You can. Okay. Yes, you can because it's okay. If it's already bad, what do you want boys reading at the second grade level?
No.
First grade? What needs to happen? Because the boys are failing. What needs to happen? What needs to happen? An 80% divorce rate? What needs to happen? Black wealth at 0? Black average marriage drop down in the single digit? Because we're talking about the children.
Right.
And all I'm saying is, if you don't want to be married, you want to be free to do what you want to do, fine, but the kids go to the men. Because men, statistically, have been shown to be more solid, stable fathers. You don't have to like it, man.
Situational.
It's not situational, ma'am. See, that's what you see. This is where I'm trying to be nice, ma'am. This is where your ignorance is coming through.
I'm not.
Go look. Okay. I need you. It's not situational. Go look up the CDC data on living conditions of single parents and single children. Not single parents. Children from single parent homes, when they break it down from fathers to mothers. Because what you believe in this country, what group of men are shown to be the best, most active fathers?
The Caucasian and white.
You're so dumb. It's us, black men. You don't even know how good black men are. They don't even know.
There are good.
They don't know. She said Caucasian men.
Because
she said Caucasian men. Who could not see that everything I've talked about, that the first thing he went to, the white man?
There are black fathers, but they're not published.
I said, go look at the data yourself. This is getting sad. And you have sons.
I do. But you want me to speak general, and I cannot, because in my eyes it's situational. It's
not situational. See, that's one of the worst things that happened to this country. I'm gonna tell you guys, one of the worst things that's happened to this country. I'm gonna just talk on over you. No, I'm gonna just talk on over you. This is one of the worst things. This is one of the worst things that's happened to this country. This 8th place trophy and everything is a situational special snowflake. That means there's no fucking rules. That means everything can't be judged. So whenever you try to nail a woman down or something, she goes back to the situational. It depends. When you often hear women on other shows and on panels, you have the one woman who everything is a shade of gray. And everything comes down to the individualization. That's what it's called. It's called individualization. CDC report on black fathers. CDC report on black fathers. CDC reports fathers' involvement proves black dads are the most involved, and the Pew Research shows the result that the role of American dad is changing. Do your own research. CDC report. Black dads, most involved. Pew Research. That's us, black men. So it doesn't matter if this woman and women like her don't want to give you your flowers. Go get them yourself.
It's black men.
Because when I asked you, man, you said it was the white man.
Because that's what they make you believe.
But you're a black mother. But you're a black, but hold on. Fuck that shit. You're a black mother raising black sons. You should know better.
And I know
you're a black mother raising black sons. You should know better. You're a black mother raising black sons. You should know better, because if the world's gonna make them think that they're less, you're the first teacher of the kid, right?
But
You're the
that's
first teacher of your kid.
Steve.
You're the first teacher of the kid. Then you should know all the good stuff about black. No, ma'am, you should know all the good stuff about black kids, black men in particular. It seems like they get such bad stuff pumped to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use your argument and show you where women like you are failing black boys. And I think I'm saying is just trying to look at what they're doing. If black men are the most involved fathers, why? Can you imagine a world to where women are not more important than men? And this is what this back and forth has been a good example of, I think, our community, our culture, where women have been prized and put on power so much to where your default position, whether you want to say it or not, is women are best for the kids.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you have. You've said it, ma'am. You have that way. Okay, now then again, if they're not married, we can look at the outcomes right now. Automatically, custody is received to the mother based upon the outcomes that we see right now.
But then is that the judge's fault? Isn't that the judge's fault? Because
no, it's not. No, it's not.
If the judge,
no, it's not. Okay, so again, so we go all the way from the mother and the father to the judge. Accountability is like kryptonite, people. That's why I wore green. That's why I wear green. Accountability is like kryptonite. And I need you to understand that it doesn't matter if it's cussing or fussing back and forth. Man, this is a part of our culture to where you as well, our women, you think you're better at what you do than you are. And even on the numbers, on the facts, it's like, well, you know, if you're losing at something, it's only common sense to say, let's try something different.
Yeah, but I see, but you're not asking me my opinion. You're asking me.
I have asked you your opinion.
You're asking me based on the statistics that you're giving. You're not saying.
No, ma'am. I've asked you based on no, ma'am. You're right. I've asked your opinion based on reality.
Right, and like I said, based on people I know and situations.
Ma'am, I'm not asking your opinion based upon anecdotal experience. I'm asking you, so ma'am, your anecdotal experience only works for you. Because in your anecdotal experience, your child rearing in the Bronx worked just fine. But we know the Bronx didn't work out that way. But your life experience, it does. See, we're supposed to be the adults, and we're supposed to be able to make decisions based on reality.
Right.
Not just, well, let me tell you what I think. Let me tell you what I feel. No, we're supposed to talk about what we think. And see, and this is why I love when we always put problems off on white people. Well, black people need to learn how to critically think and talk about difficult things so we don't have to keep saying, well, the judges and this and that. When you think of a judge, are you thinking of a black person?
I'm just thinking of a judge.
And what does that judge look like? What race is that person to be?
They could be black, white, Asian.
Okay, when you think of a judge, what race?
I'm thinking of a specific race when I
yeah, you just think of a void. It's just a void, right? It's just a void.
Judge, period.
Okay, and see, this is what I need you guys to understand. This is why I keep my foot on women's like your necks, because you lie. Everyone has an archetype. You lie. You're lying. Human being brains work on archetypes. You say judge, and the immediate thing that comes to mind, no, ma'am, you're not gonna fucking talk over me. I know what I'm talking about. Enough. When you say police officer, there is an automatic archetype that comes to mind. If you think pastor, there's an archetype. When you say politician, there's an archetype. You say president of the United States. The first thing that comes to your mind is not just a nebulous void. It's a white man. When you say judge, you cannot tell me that you don't associate an archetype, male, female. You associate one of those. And then you associate a race.
But when it came to the
enough of this shit. Yeah. Bye. We've had enough.
And guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. More respect on the legend Kevin Samuels. I think this guy, whether we like it or not, he's stood up for black men. In as much as people say his content was an oral content that wasn't for specific black men or black women, but oftentimes watching his content, because of the problem always lying on the women's side, it's more so almost to me like his content was just made for black men. But it's just for the best interest of the whole community, I would say. Because if we have black kids that are doing better, means we have better black husbands. Because these are the same women that complain of we don't have enough quality black men to marry and all these things. So, in as much as I'm mostly going to say his content was just to, support black men, let them understand certain things. It was just for the whole community, the best improvement of the community. And talking about women after divorce getting the children, and the lady has to talk about the judge, right? I think one thing we as black people fail to understand is this. When segregation and all those things stops, when slavery and all those things kind of put a stop, right? They still wanted us to be going through some sort of pain that we cannot resolve by ourselves, especially when you have women that are as free as our women. And that right there is the true problem that is heading the black community. It is the freedom that our women are having. And I'm not saying women should not have freedom, but women don't know how to handle freedom, if we are being honest. And this is why our community is getting jacked up. How do you expect women to be that submissive when you have hand over 100% of, freedom to them? And especially when they can work and pay their own bills. But they don't look at it as a strategic move by people that want to keep us separate. It was a strategic move they made on us. The college and feminism and all those things they brought into our community is what has kept us apart, and they have gotten what they're really looking for and has always been looking for with we as black people. They never want us to be together. They never want us to build wealth and just have generational wealth and all those things. That's why our dollar circulates in some few hours, right? It's just a strategy that has been worked on us and it is working perfectly. So when we are having this type of conversation as black women that watches this type of content, you have to make constant changes in your mind that no, in as much as I got the freedom that I'm looking for, is that really helping our community? Because the laws are not going to do it, because they know that this is what we really want from these people, this ethnicity. So if it is working, then why should we change it so that they'll become better community or something like that? They are not going to change those laws, though they know deep down that it's crap. Let me be honest with you. Do you think that these judges, these so-called law enforcement, whatever the case is, let me just use judges for this case, right? Do you think that they don't understand these statistics that when single mother raise a kid, is more than likely going to be, especially a boy, more than likely going to end up in jail? You think they don't know? They know these things. And they still implemented these laws, making sure that these laws are holding we as black people back. So if we are to look at the law, then we'll keep on being where we are as it stands. But we have to make constant changes in our mind. Okay, at segregation, Jim Crows and all those things, we were doing better. We were having families, one could go and beg for salt from the next house and all those things. That's how it used to work, right? Now we don't have those things within us. You don't even trust the next black person that you are just coming across. Like you don't trust him or her. And it's all because we don't have proper community right now. And it's all because of marriages. We don't have enough marriages. This statistic is so mind-blowing. It's so, it's so heartbreaking hearing that 1 in 4 black women will happen to get married in the whole lifetime. This is heartbreaking, man. And telling women that when they come into marriage and they want to get divorced, they just get divorced, have, ownership to the case, is the reason why more and more women are leaving. If they come in the way they come in and they happen to leave the way they come in, most women wouldn't leave. It's a shocker, right? If women understand that if I break up my marriage, I am just going to live as a single solitary human being, just like I came into this man's life, I'm going to walk out like that, they are not going to live. It's not only the financial incentive that is making these women divorce husbands, but women, you have to understand that they just cannot live by themselves. So they are social creatures. So if they can have their case to have that kind of social lifestyle that they tend to want with human beings, if they can have that, with they can pay their own bills, then be with a man that she has to cook, wash for the man, do dishes and all those things for the man, then she probably will lean towards, let me be single, have my case, and I only need a man. So like I said, it's a strategic move on we as black people, but we don't seem to notice it, to the point that a woman is having kids that are boys and she's still defending this crap. So to those of you who hate, Kevin Samuels that much, and I would say people that, and let me just be blunt, right? People that hate Kevin Samuels are suffering from low level of intelligence. They are suffering from it, but they don't know. Because don't think of how harsh the message come across. Think of the end result that this man is looking for, or the things that he advocates for. Just think of it. Then I don't think you have a reason to hate him. But because these kind of people tend to lack logical reasoning, like they don't have enough logical reasoning skills, they kind of mostly dumb. I'm just being blunt because I don't see how people don't get his message. People kind of seems his message as hatred towards some group of people. When he's talking to black men in that manner, we see it as, will I say, tough love? We see it that way. We don't see that, he hate black men. No. He's just telling us the truth to become the best versions of ourselves so that we can be successful as a group. But women don't seem to see it that way. And it's a problem. Guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Guys, stay away from this type of women with this type of mindset. It's just only going to destroy you. You're not going to become a better person. I'm out. Peace.